Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I am Terra Cactus. This time, trying to directly throw the kick to his chest. He avoids stepping rightwards since my position. Low enough, he tries to kick me to the left temple of his knee. I can read his movement, so I move my rightwards to attack in his ear instead. He avoided it, stepping rightwards since my position is low enough. He tries to kick me to the left temple of his knee. I read his movements, so I moved and headed rightwards to attack the air instead of me. I covered myself to make the distance. Surprisingly, Rick was quite adept at the hand-to-hand combat. Apparently one of my below the ambulance was Lucky Strike. He seems rather confident in fighting me against a proven how we can make the catcher's breath in showdown. I know I shouldn't underestimate him. We are stuck staring against each other, none of us willing to engage. Halfway reaching full circles waiting for me to take his move. I swallow hard, and man is not swallowing. I cannot wait for a chance. After stabling my breathing, I exhale to a long breath, swiftly to advance towards him slightly. I raise my right fist to swing to his left temple. He merges the block into his left hand. I continue throwing straight punch to my left while pulling to the right. This time it doesn't block my punch, but he avoids swing to the left. I notice that I'm fully closing to the right. He immediately uses his right knee to strike in the abdomen. Fortunately, read his movement before he can begin to attack, so I manage to block his attack with both my hands. He pushes me away in 2 steps. After I gain my balance, I push back, throwing another punch with my right hand. I thought he was going to evade. He catches my right, instead pulls me closer to him. He pins his head and upper body half circle and counterclockwise and puts his elbow to my face. Just barely I managed to dodge his attack by throwing my whole body rightwards and pulling my right hand free. Without even stopping, I continue to spring my right hand before his head, but it avoids crouching me and doesn't crouch. He just crouches while spinning himself counterclockwise, ends up maneuvering and extending his right leg. He swings to the foot on his left hip, which is open. I start to move now. I can stop his attack, but I refrain to accept the kick from my landed body. Ugh. His kick was strong, enough to make my almost left side of my numb, but it's enough to budge me. I grit my teeth. The pain of movement of agony, which is locked to the right, which is still sticking against my left hip, in which my left hand, which is remaining, I might as well thrust my right fist twice as rapidly towards his stomach and my face. I then spread my fist, using my valley between my thumb and my index finger to strike his throat. While he's choking, I sweep my left foot, starting to topple my hand. He collapses on the left side, finally knock him out and kicking his back head. It took me a long time and managed to fight Rick. I breathe heavily, with rapid calm myself. The blaring of siren closing the distance gives me a warning to leave. Blam! I can hear a defending gunshot fired from a close distance, but I can't see where it's fired from, until suddenly I feel warm pain spreading from my left shoulder. What? My heart starts to race, making it harder for me to turn around and see what hit me. I'm barely able to keep myself standing anymore. I don't know if I can move, and I can see he shot me again with a fatal blow. The noise, a staccato of a voice, something feeble, smashed against something of solid inside and breaks my head. Breaks to be heard. Since I can barely hear the consciousness, I look around what to do slowly. Behind me, the girl holding a bent wooden broomstick in her hands. I thought she had ran away, but good thing she was not. I look around, 2 unconscious, a body lying in the alley, bound deep and forced to sleep with a violent induced. What do I know? How do I do this? What am I? Putting those questions aside, I think what might answer one. Beside me is the girl, looking like a white figure has been appearing within my dreams. Lately she is standing timidly, with a broken stick in her hand. I can see that she is terrified, but she murmurs unwillingly to leave. Sorry for the late introduction, I say with half a face turning facing her. Call me Theodore, what's your name? Vicky. Well, Vicky? My voice is starting to get lower and lower, contemplating my breath, when it's getting heavier and heavier. I think I need your help. End of chapter 2. Continue to chapter 3. History and Memory, part 3. 22nd June 2010, Mombasa downtown, 1442. What do you need me to do? First, don't panic. Second, check these men for all their wallets and take them. Third, take me somewhere safe. The narrow back alley amplifies the sound approaching the siren. It makes it harder for me to estimate how much time we have for the authorities to arrive. Roughly estimate we're guessing at least a minute or two. I approached Giles' unconscious body, picking up the gun that was lying next to him. I'd crouch over and take it, applying the weight, and bend just to make the pain would feel sharper. By then I had picked the handgun. Vicky returned to examining Rick's pockets, and her handed 2 wallets. Do you know a safe place? I asked her with a shallow breath, so I'm still trying to hold the pain. We could have to get you to a hospital, and it's only 5 minutes. No, not the hospital. I can't go to the hospital. I complain of one. Of course, I can't go to such a place. I can't risk myself getting caught. She thinks for a while. My request is illogical, but I know what I am doing. We can hide in my house. Where is it? 40-minute drive from here. How do we reach there? My car is across the street. Okay, then let's tour to the police who might be coming. So Vicky and I trace the alleys. We need to walk at least 4 or 5 buildings until the safe return to Main Street. At least I can relax. The hard part is past. I don't need to hurry to ask Vicky about what I know about her. Breath is so heavy I'm getting harder and harder to hold back the pain. I have to rest my shoulder on the nearest wall. I don't want to collapse. You okay? No. Do you need help? Let me carry you. I don't have many choices. I don't have to get out of here immediately, but I can't move fast on my own. So, without hesitation, I accept her offer. I wrap my arms around her neck. This might have been a good idea if she was taller. I had to crouch, and so many arms can rest comfortably on her shoulders. We can walk faster despite my wound feeling worse. My breath is so heavy, I'm limping and leaning on the shoulder, and someone shorter than me doesn't help. After walking a moment in position, I reach the streets. From here I can hear the police and the civilians swarming the stores in my battlefields. A few cars in parallel parked from across the store. If only one in the store remembered me and Vicky, we could run off without incident. I try to walk as normal as I could. Got my hand off Vicky's shoulder and I start to walk upright, tall, but still awkward. Every step I take induces my slouch so I don't feel the pain in my shoulder. At a point, Vicky walks past me and heads towards her car and drives to the side door. She immediately unlocks the door and let her overalls in. I sit in the front passenger seat. The car is oddly quiet, but still old. Cherished brown, sweetened, clean interior. Soon Vicky starts the engine. She plays her gear and shifts in releasing the handbrake to get the parking space. I'm surprised she drives a manual, but then again, automatic cars are expensive. This car is a reflect of the economic state. My eyes are getting heavier, knowing that she is safer than before. She's sleepiness, trying to keep it at bay, but once again it takes over. I try to stop hyperventilating. Instead, I exhale deeply before shortening inhale breath, trying to stabilize, but it's useless. Every calming breath also pushes me to fall in a chasm of unconsciousness. Why don't I die from this scratch, or stop fighting to give my body the rest it deserves? Theodore? Theodore? Theodore. From my right, I could hear someone calling me. Vicky, she was cheering me not to give up. But I can't. I need to rest. Don't worry. I can barely talk. Sounds so weakly it hasn't even worn in my mouth. Theodore! She keeps calling me now, gently shaking my right shoulder. You... For a moment, I'm trapped inside the void where I can only my unconscious. Corporeal body. Here I am, back inside the room again. I'm sitting in the same chair behind a wooden desk with a black figure at the end of himself and growling ear horn. He's come waiting to open my eyes. He's standing across the desk while holding a rising glass on the desk itself. Bottle of another empty wrestling glass. While it's waiting for me to help him, fully aware, raises the glass and savors the aroma of the wine while he pours the glass and slowly swirls its contents. I didn't know he was a connoisseur or a sommelier. Oh, welcome back. What? Not again. Bessie talks, nor am I, even when I'm just bystander as sure as the second person. Dr. Earhorn? Good day. Sorry, did I fall asleep? Don't worry, it's fine. Has it been 2 weeks already? Time flies, doesn't it? Care for a drink? You know I shouldn't. I look at the glossy wine bottle standing at the desk in front of me. If I can actually enjoy it, I might try to resist my own voice and accept. Are you sure? No, no one will care if you do. I'm sure. Fine then. He raises his glass and drinks to the content without a hesitation. He empties his glass as he puts it on the desk and wanders around the room, slowly, both his hands crossed behind his back. So, for the first month, how are you progressing? Slowly, sir. I know this sounds odd, but I released with my voice in the thrall voice every time it speaks to me, a tone of respect, as if we were close. He pauses, and I can detect the hint of disappointment in his silence. But are you now able to control it, right? Yes, sir. So you have seen the potential of your program. Don't worry. The others has told me. The others has told me. The fuck? The others, sir? The ones before you. Never mind. He stops abruptly without choking. Cough, cough. Would you mind telling me what you have done so far? Have you tried levitation? So you have. Yes, it was the first thing I tried. Go on. I mean, it was amazing. I could feel anything. I could create anything I want. I can feel Earhorn smiling, despite with being back towards me. I don't know what actually it means, but I'm guessing it's satisfaction. But, sir, yes? I'm still failing to see the true purpose of this program. I don't think you're ready to see the bigger picture. Sir? I know how badly you want to know, but it's not your time. Believe me, your time will come when you're ready, and you'll be ready when you reach that point you need to be. You know what I'm talking about. You flew, you created, but all those are just the beginning. I don't know what to say. Just like my Thurno voice, I baffled, unable to respond. But I know that what you're thinking must exactly be the same. What is he saying? Trust me, the ultimate purpose of this program is to change the world. Change the world? Yes, remember. When I told you, don't you know how the world works? You'll be the one to change it. You can't be serious, sir. Me? Change the world? Well, why not? But you will be the one you want done. I shake my head slowly, not in disagreement nor skepticism, but in awe. At least that's how I remember when I'm feeling the conversation, but in retrospect, I think I'm now shaking my head in my pity. Whilst we're still working, we... What? Suddenly something in black figure and Grail Earhorn. Everything else inside the room starts to glitch. The figure in the wine bar, the glasses, the table, the desk, but not me. I look at both my hands. I don't see anything changing my physique. All the objects in front of me glitch to the horizon. They gradually fade away. Meanwhile, the room itself glitches vertically. Suddenly begins to materialize new forms, walls, floors, ceiling, and lights. The infinite room is now enclosed with finite walls, one each direction, but now, just with the walls being a series of corridors, something feels very familiar about these walls. Made of thick metal, the surface is scrubbed clean. The ceilings are basically extensions of the walls. The floors are reinforced with concrete, but also covered with a blarnished marble that matches the walls. Am I supposed to follow the corridors? Since I don't see any other options, I begin to walk to trace the corridors. Strange, these corridors are just walls, despite the length of the structures. Each wall is but no doors. Doesn't seem like it stretch endlessly, but I can't see either, as if the corridors cease to exist at a certain point. From where I stand, I think I can see the radius between each end of the corridors, but it isn't the place that exists. 1, 2, 3 intersections I pass. Randomly I choose between the right and the left, simply walking straight, and I lose track how I've walked. And after walking the distance, the only thing I could find is silence. Blam! Suddenly a gunshot noise echoes throughout the narrow of the corridors. The reverberation of the sound slowly transfers to the walls, making it easily to triangulate where the sound came from, and reduce the volume makes it hard to know the exact distance. My estimation, the gunshot originated a few intersections before the right. The curiosity pushes me to find the sounds, enough to make me start running. I rush myself fast as I can towards the place where the gunshot is coming from. Keep running straight down the corridor in front, scanning every right turn passes. I don't find anything. First, second turns, a few blocks, and slightly third shocks me. Upon reaching the third right, the run past almost catches my attention. Several interactions of this turn. I can see the end of the corridors. Before it ends, there is a figure of 2 figures, wearing pale black uniforms, lying unconscious on the ground, while the other is standing looking at them. The right hand of the gun is smoking muzzle. But it's not what shocks me the most. The thing that shocks me the most is the fact that the standing figure's appearance is exactly like me. Unlike the glitch, people like figures shrouded in the single color as a figure of what I'm seeing at time truly lifelike. His back is short, messy, curly hair, brown thin but curly pop. It unmistakably resembles me. Seeing the scene causes my breath to accelerate. Even my lungs feel as if I'm forcibly squeezed by the squishy toy. As if it weren't bad enough, the standing figure slowly begins to raise his hand towards me. What the hell? I can see my face clearly. Even from a distance, I can totally be sure that the figure is me. Even if the last 3 days I haven't seen the mirror, I know exactly how it is me. For a couple of seconds, I exchange looks. It feels so swirly. His expression is not as sharp as mine, but he seems calmer. I am now as if the expression myself a mirror. My reflection refuses to match the expression. What should I do? What should I do? Repeatedly I ask myself for instructions, but not too petrified to move my own legs. It surprises me that I get the answers to the questions for someone else. Run. I can hear them saying, from a distance, read his lips. Soon after he whispers that he starts to run, dashing for the corridor to his right. Doesn't take me long before I know why. Soon after he whispers and starts to run, dashing towards the corridor to his right. And it doesn't take me long to know why. From behind I can hear the pitter-patter of rushing footsteps. But oddly I turn around to head around, find a solid metal wall ending the corridor. Slow as I turn around to keep running beside my 2 figures, wearing pale uniforms, lying unconscious on the floor, I've been shifted from what they were. Now I've returned to my might, forward releasing the things that I find in the team of fully armed soldiers, body armor, automatic rifles are rushing towards me. I've noticed there's a hole that looks like an opening because of the shot. A huge cannon on my left apparently leads nowhere, just pitch black, huge emptiness. Third apparently was standing position. I thought Theodore Quinton jacket. Fourth, I'm now holding my right hand. What am I doing here? Who are these soldiers? Who is this hole? I'm totally perplexed, unable to comprehend the situation I am in. Seeing the soldiers, I have slowed down and secured the corridor. I remember what the other me said. What the other time it's scurry. I actually wanted to run my left, but the reason I can't run on my right instead. I'm heading to exactly the same direction where the other me is running. So far I can handle myself with the front small guns. It seems heavy guns, like those soldiers carrying me, makes me panic. I'm not engaging with those. Aimlessly I'm running through the corridor, seeing endless. Once, twice behind the casing, confirming me. So far as I can see anyone behind me, I turn to face someone slight in front that compels me to stop. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.